If I had $1 for every CRT monitor that I've either given away or thrown away or donated to Goodwill, I'd have a lot of money. But for some reason, I saw this on Facebook Marketplace and it was pretty darn cheap and I just had to have it. So we're going to hook this old monitor up to a new computer and have some fun with it. Hey everybody, it's Chris from Family Geekery, and today we're going to be taking a look at this gem of a monitor here, no pun intended, but this is a monitor I just found recently on Facebook Marketplace, very similar to a lot that I had back in the 90s, even into the early 2000s, but like I said, I've given most of those away, thrown them away, donated them. They're just too big, too heavy. Everybody wanted to go with the flat screen, and we all went with the flat screen. And now a lot of us are finding that, hey, let's check out these old monitors here and have some fun with them. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So I've got a old meets new situation here. This is a SteamCube that I put together. I'll put a link right up in this corner up here of the video where I put that together. And I call it a SteamCube because basically it's got very similar internal guts to a Steam Deck, but it's in a nice little cube here. So it's a pretty capable computer that we're going to be using to hook up to an old-fashioned monitor, like a 15-inch CRT monitor, and we're going to have some fun with it. So I've got this thing running, booted up. I'm ready to hit the power button on this thing and hear the wow, the strange sound it always makes. Boy, I hope that came through on the microphone, because that's like taking a step back in time, hearing that, and watch the screen kind of just grow in brightness as it comes together. And check it out. This is Windows 10, but I've got a nice little Windows 95 background going on. Now if you see this line coming down here, that's just simply the refresh rate difference between the camera that I'm recording with and the screen. There was 4 choices in the display settings for different refresh rates, and a lot of them made it go wow, 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 wow. And this one at least is just a slow little line coming through, but I promise you that's not on the monitor. That's just the magic of cameras. Now I'm probably not going to go into No Man's Sky and play that on this 1024 by 768 resolution, but I am going to play some retro games. So I'm going to load up a retro game here in just a second. But before I do that, I just want to show you, and I know the camera's not going to show everything, but there's a lot of love obviously for these monitors, for the things that they do well. And then there's a lot of love for, LCD and LED monitors for the things that they do well. So I'm just going to bring, and I apologize for the cable mess that may happen, I'm just going to bring this little portable monitor here that I use for a lot of videos. And just to kind of show the difference. Now, I haven't done any tweaking as far as like color profiles or gone into the monitor. And this monitor you can go in and change, some of the RGB settings, but just out of the box, the difference in kind of brightness and crispness. There's a reason why these new monitors are great. You wouldn't want to watch a 4K video on something like this. You wouldn't want to watch a 1080p video on something like this. But for retro gaming, I think it's going to work out great. So let me load up a game real quick, and I'll be right back. Alright, so nothing's better than Super Mario Brothers for testing out something with a retro monitor. So I've got a Bluetooth controller hooked up to this. Again, modern meets old-fashioned, and just get into a game. Now the one thing that you do notice right away, and this isn't intentional or anything, but VGA cables don't carry over audio, so you're not going to hear any audio coming through it. But that's just the way it was. We used to have those big speakers hooked up on our desk, and sometimes you still do that, but it's really nice to have audio coming through the cable going to the monitor, and if the monitor has good enough speakers, just let those speakers play through. But in this case, this definitely predates any speakers coming over VGA cables, and yeah, so it looks great. And again, I don't know how well this is going to come through on the recording, but I don't have any filters as far as like some of these emulators will let you do, like scanline filters and stuff like that. This is just coming right out of the default settings, and a lot of it has to do with just the fact that it's already set up to a native kind of retro 4:3 aspect ratio, even if you don't have the right scan lines, even if it doesn't have the right filters or anything, it just looks like it's supposed to be there, right? This game looks like it's supposed to be on this type of screen. Now if we jump out of this and go back to Windows, I'll show you some of the downsides. So here we are back at the desktop again, and obviously the biggest problem with this is that the real estate is just not much, right? The 1024 by 768 resolution does not leave a lot of room for, wide screens that we're used to. Now what really surprised me is, if we look at Chrome down here, I went to 3, major websites, and I was expecting them to be all ugly and stuff, but as it looks, Amazon does a pretty good job of recognizing, hey, this person is using an old-fashioned monitor, and it just works. ESPN, I thought, would have a problem. Nope, it's pretty good too. Now, obviously this sidebar here doesn't allow a lot of room for the main content, but it still fits. And then Best Buy, same thing. Everything fits just fine. I thought for sure with having almost half the pixels that a modern, 16 by 9 monitor has, I thought it would all be messed up, but they've done a pretty good job. I don't have to scroll right or left down here at all. They all just work. So that was surprising. It was a nice surprise. Now the other downside of this, of course, is this thing's going to chew up a lot more power than a modern LED monitor would. But I don't think anybody's using one of these as their daily driver anymore. They're just turning it on for a little bit of retro gaming, having some fun with it, and then using their, standard LED monitor for their everyday type of work. Now, as a funny coincidence, as I'm getting this video prepared, I noticed the other day, really cool dude, Tech Dweeb, put out a video showing his retro DOS emulation setup. And it's a real great video. You should go check that out. But basically, he came up with a kind of retro gaming setup. He's got a 4x3 LCD instead of a CRT, but I don't blame him at all for that because these CRTs just take up a lot of room. But he goes through explaining how he set up this DOSBox version to play some old DOS games. Now, he's going to be doing 3 videos in this series showing how he set it up and showing how to get the games on there and how to set up the Dweeb DOS as the version of DOSBox that he customized. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to grab that when he makes it available and put it on here and see how good it looks. So go check out that video. If you don't know Tech Dweeb, go ahead and hit that subscribe button on his channel too, because he's a real cool dude and he puts out some awesome videos. Now, why did I pick this particular computer to test this out? Well, a couple reasons. One, it's small and easy to set up. And 2, it's got a VGA port right in the back there, right on the motherboard, so I didn't have to get any kind of converters or anything. Just went straight analog VGA right into the monitor, and it works perfect. So really that's it. I just wanted to show you this monitor, show you what it looked like with some games and stuff, and seeing what it looks like to have a modern computer hooked up to an old-fashioned monitor. Let me know in the comments down below what you think I should do on this. What kind of games or programs should I try to run on it, see if it works. Let me know if you've got one of these set up and what you do with it. That's going to wrap it up for this video. I thank you as always for watching. If you found this video interesting or it was helpful or it was fun, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more weird, wacky, geeky stuff, go ahead and check out the rest of the channel and hit the subscribe button there. But that's all I got for you today. I thank you as always for watching, and until next time, peace out and geek out.